Hey guys, just here with JHart Modelworks. So while sitting in the hotel, I had some time on my hands. I was able to take care of a few things. One of the things that I was able to take care of, I was able to finish up Tamiya's 124 scale Ferrari 360 Spider. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So let's go ahead and flip the camera around and take a look. Alright guys, here she is all wrapped up. This is Tamiya's 124 scale Ferrari 360 Spider. We did the body in scale finishes Ferrari Grigio Silverstone, which is a beautiful dark metallic gray. The stripes we originally planned on doing in Ferrari's Rosso Fiorano. For some reason that color just looked a little too orange to me. Maybe I didn't have enough coats down on. I'm not entirely certain because it should have been a deep metallic red. But instead I changed and went with House of Colors Burgundy Candy. And that is the perfect color for those stripes in my opinion. Now for the interior we went with Tamiya's IJN Gray. And for the red we used Zero Paint's Ferrari Bordeaux Red. Those two colors work really well together, and they work really well with our body colors as well. It really does a nice job of blending together. So we have 3D designed and printed up a body kit on this. It's not an incredibly aggressive body kit. I wanted something that would be just a little more aggressive than a standard 360 without being overbearing and obnoxious or looking like, you know, a Japanese style huge body kit. So I went with just a small front splitter, and then I went with these side skirts. Now the entire body kit is designed to attach with these magnets, and I've got magnets on the inside of the chassis as well, so the magnets don't really show up. You could do them on the outside, they would probably hold a little better, but I wanted a cleaner look, so I did them on the inside. So the entire body kit is available on my Colts 3D page, so if you wanted to download and print this kit out, this would work really well for either of the 360s, as well as probably some of the 430s. You could maybe even adapt this to work with other kits as well, but it should work for the 360 and the 430. And it's just a nice, easy to use kit. I can take it on, I can take it off, depending on how I want to display it. If you did not want to use the magnets, you could just use those as glue points and just glue the kit into place, and it would work just fine. So there will be a link in the description to my Colts 3D store where all of my design files are for sale, including this body kit. We have 3D printed up a set of Vossen wheels, and these look fantastic on this car. In my opinion, these look better than the original kit wheels, so I'm really happy I changed those out, but we did use Tamiya's tires. So I just kind of scaled them and made sure that they would fit inside these tires, because the tread pattern is really nice on these tires, and it's got some really nice branding on the sidewalls. So you actually do get the Pirelli Zero tire branding, which is, I mean, nowadays you almost never get tire branding on a kit because they have to license the tire branding as well as the car. So you normally just get like a blank wheel. So it was really nice to have those, and I really wanted to use these tires. So for these Scuderia shields on the side, as well as the hood ornament, I used some 3D decals that I have. I don't know who makes them. I think I got them on carmodelkit.com, but I'm not entirely certain. That's a company out of the Czech Republic, and I forget who makes these. I really do, but it's a selection of these 3D decals that include Ferrari, Porsche, and Lamborghini logos in all sorts of different sizes. Now for the metal transfers, Tamiya includes a set of metal transfers that do the Pininfarina badging, the Ferrari script across the back, as well as these the prancing pony, and it does your mirrors. Now the only thing that stayed were the mirrors and the pony in the back. While trying to apply the Ferrari badging. The R and I at the end bent up and it would not stay down. It then caught on something at some point in time and just ripped clean up. The adhesive for Tamiya's metal transfers is genuinely terrible. It does not stick very well at all. I had just noticed before I went to record this video that I had lost this Pininfarina badge, so I had to take the other one off, and it took no effort at all. I just literally rubbed it and it came off. So I have replaced that Ferrari script as well as the Pininfarina badges with these metal transfers from the Crazy Modeler. If you do any number of Ferrari kits, I highly recommend you get this set because it has the script for that back end in all sorts of different sizes. It's got your ponies, it's got some mirror stuff in there for a few cars, just tons of stuff, Pininfarinas, some of the nameplates. And the adhesive on these is a lot better than the ones from Tamiya. Now the body, I didn't glue the body down. I honestly did not need to. The body sits on that chassis absolutely perfect. So I just didn't bother with glue. I have to be very careful because I messed up a wheel earlier. All right, there we go. So we are still able to remove our engine bay cover. We did not have to glue that down into place. So you can see all the detail on the underside of that engine. That was, in my opinion, very cool that we were able to keep that functionality. Now this is originally clear. I went ahead and painted mine black because I didn't really want clear on this panel is removable, so I didn't really want a clear underside here. Now I've been told by other builders that the engine cover doesn't work on this kit. My engine cover would care to disagree because it works perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. And you can see that we have our crackle finish Ferrari air intake in there. Now that the body is on, that is all nice and safe and secure. We don't have to worry about that crackle finish getting broken off. That was done with some glass microspheres. We shot some white primer down over that. While that primer was still very wet, because it was a very wet coat, I dumped those spheres on it and covered it in those spheres, let that dry up, and then did like another 2 more coats of white primer to even everything out, and then shot it with Tamiya's Pure Red, and that came out fantastic. Oh, those Ferraris are Tamiyas, but because you never touch it, they're safe in there. We have our toll tag, and we have, as with all of my models, we have a registration sticker showing that we finished this one in April of 2024. We have our custom Texas plates for the front and rear. For our interior, we originally went with yellow seat belts, and I just didn't quite like them. So we switched these out for some silver, and I like that a lot better. Now these seats are a 3D printed seat designed for a Bugatti Chiron. I went ahead and I had to shrink them a little bit on the Z-axis to make them a little shorter so they would sit properly in here. Other than that, the rest of the scaling is the same, and these seats look fantastic in this car. Now I did also add in the little Ferrari horse, so those look really good. We have our manual shifter in here. We did have to sand the detail down because this kit came as a automatic with the little paddle shift. It's not really an automatic. Well, it can go automatic, but it's a paddle shift F1 style. When the paddle shifters were first coming out, this car was available with both a paddle shift as well as a manual, and the manual is the more desirable car. Most people prefer the manual. So I went ahead and just sanded the detail out here for the buttons that change it into automatic mode, as well as your traction control. And there's a little lever in there that toggles reverse. I sanded that flat. I 3D designed and printed up a manual gear shift with the proper gated shift pattern. I also redid the pedals, which you can't really see down in there, but we redid those to include not only the brake, but the brake and the clutch. That set of files is available on my Colts 3D store as well. So again, there will be a link in the description below that takes you to those where you could purchase those. Now, one other thing on the body, there's supposed to be some mesh in this kit for these air intake covers. I didn't get the mesh in mine, so I just used some photo etch. I cut them to the right shape. The instructions give you a little pattern that you can use to make a template and cut it out. So I just cut some photo etch mesh and glued that in there, and that turned out really well as well. I think that looks pretty good. Now, I did try to paint those black, and honestly, every time I touched them, the Mr. Surfacer just came right off the photo etch. There is some gun black material gunsmiths use to turn metal black. One of these days I'm going to get a hold of some of that, and I'm going to try it and see what it does on this photo etch. If I could find something that will actually chemically alter the metal to turn it black instead of just having a paint over it, I think that would hold up a lot better. Alright guys, so that is going to be a wrap on Tamiya's Ferrari 360 Spider. This was a fantastic kit. I had a lot of fun with it. Everything goes together really well. Typical Tamiya engineering. It is pretty close to flawless. All in all, a lot of fun. It was very relaxing to just be able to sit and build and, not have to fight with anything. I cannot recommend this kit highly enough for those of you who love exotic cars. Definitely get this one and build it. It is an absolute blast. I do have some things going on. At the current point in time, I am recording footage for this. I'm recording footage for the gallery airbrush review for the Mobius 0.3. They sent me an airbrush to review for you guys. And I have another project, which I don't know if you will have seen yet or not, that I also did in the hotel. So I'm doing footage on that. That is going to be a build video where I'm going to build the entire kit all at once, but you'll see that here soon. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I always appreciate you watching the videos. Thanks for taking the time, and I will catch you on the next one.